99% of agency owners never hit 10K per month just because of one reason that nobody in this space is talking about, so I thought I would bring it up. Now, obviously you're seeing my Stripe screen. The reason why I'm showing you this is not to flex on you or anything. It's literally just to display the fact that I know what I'm talking about, because there are a lot of people in this space who don't. And for the longest time, I was one of those people, but I did something different than anyone else that allowed me to go from 2K per month to 15K per month in literally 2 months. So I'm going to show you the one thing that helped me skyrocket from here all the way till here in the span of 30 to 60 days. I'm going to break it all down for you, and if you actually implement this into your business, you aren't going to be the people who are stuck here for the rest of their lives, because there's a lot of people who get to like 1, maybe 2 clients and then they just stay there forever and ever and ever. But I'm going to show you essentially how you can not let that happen to you, how you can see the results basically overnight that I had just like this. Stick around and I'll show you. So what I'm about to show you here on this whiteboard is extremely powerful, and if you actually implement this into your business, you are going to see massive results and a massive amount of clients be able to come through. But the problem is, most of you are just going to leave this video, you're going to go watch the next shiny YouTube video, and you're just going to be like every single other person in the space. There's going to be nothing that actually distinguishes you from being in that top 1%. And I'm going to show you every single thing that you're going to need to know in this video so that you can actually start taking action and get to that level where you want to be. But if you just leave, I can't help you, and you are just going to be like everyone else. So I'm going to break this down for you, and there's a couple things that I want to touch on. So I'm going to give you my entire perspective on how this thing works. And it's not going to be shiny, it's not going to be super awesome, not going to be fun, but if you can actually understand how this thing works, you're going to make a shit ton of money. Okay? So this is how this thing works. I need you to look at your business as almost like a funnel. So like a pipe, essentially. So this is essentially what your business is. And it might be confusing, but I'm going to explain it. So you have this pipe. And this pipe is essentially composed of your niche, the problem you're solving, and the solution you are delivering. Every single month, in every single niche, there is at least $20,000 worth of opportunity that's going into this pipe, into your business. There's $20,000 per month minimum in every single niche worth of opportunity coming into your pipe. Just imagine this is like water or something. This is $20,000 per month in opportunity, okay? 20K per month in opportunity. But the problem is, there are bottlenecks in every single pipe. So I want you to imagine this. There are these like plates within the pipe that are basically blocking the opportunity from actually flowing out of the bottom. And this is your bank account. Okay, so here, if you want to draw this in gray, this is your bank account. So any like water or whatever, any opportunity that flows into this box goes into your wallet. This is the money that you can make. But the problem is, when you start, like when you first start, there's all these bottlenecks that you have to deal with. There's these cutoff points that you have to remove. So for example, at the start, these are all going to be blocked off. So this is, maybe it's going to be appointments. So the appointments aren't able to get to the next step because they're blocked off. So this is like basically a bottleneck that you have to remove. And then we have sales. So this is also a bottleneck. If you can't remove this, if you get all the appointments but you can't make the sales and move this out of the way, and I know you understand, but I need to kind of explain how this whole metaphor works. If you can't move this out of the way, then no opportunity is going to get through to your bank. And then there is delivery. So if you can't deliver results, you're going to get a bunch of disputes, you're going to get a bunch of refunds, and this isn't actually going to manifest into something that you can use. So you have these bottlenecks. Now, essentially, if you can remove all of these bottlenecks, and I'm going to show you how to remove them, you're going to be able to get all of this opportunity into your bank account. So within these bottlenecks, I'm actually going to explain how to remove them first. So to remove these bottlenecks into your business, you first have to identify them. Okay? And basically to identify them, you just have to ask yourself, what is the reason why I'm not making 20K per month or whatever it is? And this isn't necessary. This is just an arbitrary number that I picked. This can be any number realistically. So you have to ask yourself, what is the reason why I'm not making 20K per month? And maybe it's because you're getting only like 2 appointments a week. Okay? So that means that like you have some opportunity flowing in here, but maybe the gap looks like this. So barely any of the opportunities coming into here, and then the sales thing is fully blocked off, so you're not able to make any sales. So probably the biggest problem in here is you're not even getting enough appointments to be able to sell. So what you have to do is put all your effort onto moving this basically cover up. You need to move this out of the way. Now I'm going to show you how to remove this, and I'm going to show you why most people don't remove this. Because if you can remove this, and then you can remove this, and then you can remove this, you're going to make a shit ton of money. But most people, they either don't know how to move it, or they just give up. And you probably think you don't give up, but I'm going to show you that most likely, and I gave up a million times in the past before, giving up actually means. So, the way that you move this is with work. And in science, work is force times distance. Obviously, that doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense in the business world. So we're going to call this effort multiplied by time. So E times T. So if you put all of your effort into removing this problem, which is the appointment, over a long enough period of time, you are going to be able to move this all the way out of here. And then you're going to be able to get all these into the next stage, which is sales. So you move this, and now you have some opportunity actually being able to flow through this stage, and you're going to be able to basically solve the sales problem. And it's the same way, right? You put effort multiplied by time into sales, and then you're able to solve that. But the point is, you need to focus on that. You can't focus on appointments and sales and delivery at the same time, because it's going to be super, super slow because you're not putting enough time into one thing at a time. So you need to put all of your effort into one thing. Now, touching on this a little bit more, to actually solve the appointment booking problem, this kind of breaks down into sub-pipes. So you have this bottleneck. In this bottleneck, let's just kind of zoom in on this bottleneck. What this actually looks like is a few different things. So let's say you're trying to book appointments with cold email. So you have multiple different things within the cold email system that's not working. So you have your open, and you have your reply rate, and you have your booking rate. So maybe inside of your appointment bottleneck, and actually you have your show up as well. So you have your show rate. So inside of this appointment bottleneck, you have 4 other different bottlenecks. And maybe now you're looking at this the wrong way. And this should hopefully kind of ignite something in you. But maybe your shows are fine. Maybe your appointment booking rate is fine. Maybe all the people who are opening the message are replying, but you are just looking at the entire appointment system as a whole, and you're not actually looking inside of it deep enough to actually understand what the problem is. But when you look at all these KPIs, you're going to realize it's the open rate. And you have the opportunity, and it's all flowing into this pipe, but the thing that's stopping it is just the open rate. And maybe that's because your email deliverability is bad. So then you fix your deliverability. Not only do you fix this sub pipe, not only do you fix this sub bottleneck, because you want to put all your effort and your time into solving open rate. Once you actually are able to solve open rate, then this whole thing opens up, and now you have all the $20,000 of opportunity flowing into your sales system. And your sales system has sub things like offer rate, close rate, pitch rate, things like that, which I'm not going to specifically get into in this video, but it kind of works in this similar fashion. Now, the reason, and this goes back to the point of the video, the reason why 99% of people fail is because they don't try and fix this pipe. What they do is they don't realize, they think they're blind, and they think that, so there's a big bottleneck here in my appointment booking system. And maybe they even see this, they're like, I'm not getting enough appointments. I'm doing cold email with my appointments to get my appointments. That means that cold email doesn't work, and then they switch to cold calling. But maybe, right, they already cracked the code on reply rate, booking rate, show rate, but they don't actually look within the pipe, and then they completely switch pipes. So then they start cold calling, and then they have this new pipe, and then they have these 4 bottlenecks, which is like pickup rate, pitch rate, appointment booking rate, and still the show rate. And now their system is actually worse than it was before, because here they only had to solve 1 more problem. And now here they have to solve 4. But the problem is they didn't put enough effort and they didn't put enough time into actually solving this problem. And then because they didn't do that, they weren't able to solve it. And then they just switched to the next thing. They shiny objected their way all the way to cold calling. And now they have problems with cold calling, and they don't know why, because they're starting completely fresh. They put no time and energy. And you can even look at this as you can have this could be a sub pipe within a different pipe. This could be the pipe of the opportunity of SMMA, for example. Maybe SMMA has so much opportunity in it, right? Just as an example, I'm not advocating necessarily for it because everything works, and this is kind of what I'm going to touch on. But you have all this opportunity going into SMMA, but then they have all these different like problems within this business, and maybe they fixed like 9 out of 10 of them, but that 10th kind of ring is blocking off all the opportunity from going into their account. So then what they do is they don't try and fix that 1 out of 10 problem, is they say, well, I'm trying to solve SMMA, but it doesn't work. So then they try drop shipping, and then they have the same problem. And now they have all these different bottlenecks. It's a completely new thing. They don't know how it works, and they're like, doesn't work. Then they try affiliate marketing, and it doesn't work. And then they try all these different things, and none of them work. And this is the same thing with your niche. And niches have different opportunity levels. Like they have, like you can make, like a niche might be capped at 20K per month. Another niche might be capped at 150K per month. But most of you probably are not even at this, like your potential of your niche. You could be in the shittiest niche in the world, and there's still a ton of opportunity in there. But it's simply about sticking to one thing for long enough so that you have enough energy and time, because that's how you remove these bottlenecks, to actually remove the bottlenecks. So let's say you, like for me as an example, like I know how to book appointments for agencies, and I know how to book appointments. Well, I mean, I know how to book appointments for all these different companies, but I really understand, for example, agency owners and coaches. So my sales thing is kind of dialed. So that's the thing. Like if, for example, I was in a position where like my delivery was great, my appointments were great, and or let's even say like the delivery was bad and the appointments were great and the sales were great, but I'm like, well, I can't deliver, so it's the niche. So then I switched to a different niche, but the problem is now I don't know how to book appointments for that niche. I don't know how to sell to that niche because I don't understand them, and I still don't know how to deliver for that niche. So instead of kind of putting my effort and time into removing this bottleneck, I'm like, well, I didn't even identify that this existed. So what I ended up doing was, instead of trying to put my energy and my effort into removing this bottleneck, I was like, this is a painful problem. I'm not going to solve it. And then they're like, this niche doesn't work. And then they're like, I'm going to try an e-com agency. And now there's like even more problems because they spent like 2 months trying to solve these problems and they almost did it. But they have one problem that was too difficult that they couldn't solve. And then they just scrapped the whole idea and got a new pipe. And this pipe is untouched. They don't even know how to start with this different pipe. So the basic idea of what you need to understand here is, if you can stick to something, and I said this a million times, and everyone says this, but no one seems to understand the point and actually listen to it. If you stick to one thing for a long enough period of time, you will remove all of the bottlenecks, and you will be able to take this opportunity and capitalize on it and make the money that you want to make. It's just a matter of pushing forward and doing this. And I used to, and if I learned this like a long time ago, this would have saved me like a lot of pain. But I used to run a cold calling agency. And the problem was, like, I was getting a ton of appointments, and I was closing sales because the offer was really easy. But the problem was the operational complexity of running a cold calling team was difficult. So my delivery was like this when I was running that agency. And like, I didn't understand this principle. And if I knew this, it would have been so much easier. But I was like, it was so difficult to deliver results because I didn't understand how to run a team, that I'm like, you know what, this is too hard. Started the new agency. And the only thing that I had to do was put all of my effort and my energy and my time into removing this bottleneck. And I probably could have removed that in a month. And then every single dollar of opportunity would have gone into this box, which is my bank account. But I was too much of a bitch to solve this one problem. So if you can go into your agency and you can commit to removing each of these different bottlenecks in your business, and there's going to be a lot of them, but eventually there are going to be no more to remove, and all of the opportunity in your market is going to come flowing into your bank account. Okay? And that is the simple reality of how this thing works. But again, 99% of agency owners, they're going looking for the easiest niche. They're going to build the nicest website, like all this stupid shit. They're going to like change their niche. They're going to like change their offer, change their service, change the problem that they're trying to solve. And it just infuriates me, because they just need to stick to one damn thing and they're going to get everything that they want. So please do it for yourself. Do it for the parents that you're trying to retire, because they deserve more than you just trying to switch your niche when things get hard. So please just stick to one niche. Every niche is the easiest niche if you can stick to one problem and solve it. So please, just if you take anything away from this video, just stick to one thing for a long time and you will make a shit ton of money. If you need help with solving the appointment bottleneck, you can click the first link in the description. If not, it's completely fine. I don't care. But I might be able to help. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you in the next one.